Hi, my name is Phuong. I use she, her, hers. I'm from Hanoi, Vietnam, and I'm a senior biology and environmental studies major. My journey to become a global citizen started in high school, where I learned that rhino poaching fueled by demands in countries such as Vietnam is driving the species to extinction in other regions of the world. That the consumption of wildlife products, something I considered common back then, could lead to drastic changes had been unimaginable. What was more shocking to me was that as a consumer, I was completely unaware or very ill informed of my impacts on other species and human communities across the world. I realized that, as someone aware of this issue, I had the responsibility to become part of the solution as well. So began talking to my parents and relatives, many of whom used these kind of products, about the international consequences of such consumption. I also volunteer with a national organization specialized in investigative work and public education to raise their larger public awareness. This experience empowered me as a young Vietnamese to be an agent of change, and I became committed to global wildlife conservation, a cause that I've continued to pursue throughout my 4 years in college. At Macalester, I had the opportunity to hone in on scientific skills through classes and research in ecology. The summer after my first year, I worked at Ordway, Mac's field station for biology. My group conducted monitoring studies of the native plants in the presence of garlic mustard, a non-native species common in North America. A long-term data set pointed to the absence of any negative impacts, which showed to me how important having a scientific basis to habitat management plan can be. Throughout this summer and courses at Macalester, I participated in various conservation projects locally and built a strong skill set through first-hand experiences. In addition to building strong technical expertise, a global citizen had to understand the importance of communication. Conservation issues should be in touch with local communities in order to initiate effective solutions. During my internship at the World Agroforestry Center, I participated in field trips in coffee growing regions in Vietnam and learned about the farmers' economic constraints as well as the lack of support for more sustainable practices. Thanks to these communication channels, researchers at this organization were better connected to local communities and redirected efforts towards building more sustainability-driven supply chains. These insights on the role of communication were further strengthened through my internship at Friends of the Mississippi River here in St. Paul. I learned about the necessity of enlisting allies from unexpected corners, such as private or even corporate landowners, whose goals may be different from ours, but whose participation is necessary for our mission of protecting biodiversity and restoring habitats. Finally, a global citizen cannot enact changes by acting alone, but through cultivating close-knit, motivated communities of care. During my second year, I volunteered at Urban Roots, Minnesota, a nonprofit that employs high school students in East St. Paul to work on farming and conservation projects. I was tasked with designing a research for a group of students that involved learning about local conservation issue. After talking to the students and finding out that they wanted to learn something about invasive species, I was able to draw on my Ordway experience and wrote up a research proposal about monitoring native plants and garlic mustard growth. I was very happy to inspire a common interest among students on a topic that I care deeply about, and this experience boosted my confidence in building future communities that shared my passion for wildlife conservation. Well, coming to the US in fall 2016 and now ending my college journey in the middle of a global crisis have definitely made me think a lot about what it means to be a citizen of the world. If anything, I now learned that, unlike other forms of citizenship, global citizen is by choice. It involves a sense of responsibility to the world, an accompanying drive to make a difference, and a desire to connect communities across the local, regional, and global levels. I would like to take this opportunity to express my deepest gratitude for Professor Mary Haskell in biology, who nominated me for this award, for environmental studies professors Christy Manning and Rupali Faki for recommending me, the International Students Program and Department of Residential Life who have supported me throughout my 4 years at MAC, my internship supervisors, the Center of Study Away and my Study Away programs. These people and opportunities that they've helped open up allowed me to never feel like an outsider, and thus I was never indifferent to issues that we're confronting. I was able to stay involved and contribute to something larger than myself and making connections, building communities across differences. If there's anything that McAllister's taught me, McAllister and living through this crisis has taught me, or is continuing to teach me, is to always have people in mind and at the center of whatever I decide and plan to do in the future. Thank you for listening, and I hope that you stay well and take care of yourself.